Here we are waiting at the Philly airport. From there, we had a short flight to Toronto. And then from there, a 5-hour flight to Calgary. During our flight over New York, I happened to look out the window and saw the Niagara Falls.
After leaving Bow Lake, we continued to travel on the Icefields Parkway, enjoying the scenery of the Grand Rocky Mountains on the way to Peyto Lake. Once we arrived, there was a short but steep walk to get to the overlook, which revealed a spectacular view of the turquoise blue lake. And although we were there after peak season, it was still very busy.
At the end of the day, we arrived at our Airbnb in the town of Hinton, which is just east of the town of Jasper. We went to Smitty's for supper, and then we got groceries at the local grocery store.
She moves like a map with no borders, a whisper caught in the wind. I see her boots at the corner.
We scheduled a 9 a.m. boat ride, which took about an hour and a half round trip. We were able to get off the boat at the famous Spirit Island. It was a chilly morning at 9 a.m., but the boat was enclosed, so it wasn't too bad. We had about 15 minutes to explore the island and take lots of pictures.
She moves like a map with no borders, a whisper caught in the wind. I see her boots at the corner cafe with a notebook and a grin. She's chasing skies I've never named while I stay in
After the boat ride, we stopped in at the gift shop and did some shopping for some souvenirs. Next on the itinerary is the Bald Hills Trail. Our goal was to make it to the first lookout. It was 3.5 miles up with 2,000 feet of elevation gain. It started out with a nice gravel path, but we decided to take the shortcut. The shortcut was much steeper with more rugged terrain, with lots of roots. We were pretty much shot till we made it to the lookout. The view was kind of disappointing due to the smoke from forest fires. We had lunch at the lookout and a much needed break. The walk back down was hard on our old knees, but Brent saved the day and went ahead and got the van and drove it to the trailhead, saving us a 1/2 mile walk. Thanks, Brent. The following day, we were going to visit the town of Jasper, but before we went there, we checked out a place called the Beaver Boardwalk. It's a pretty interesting place. There were several beaver lodges, but we were told it would be best to come back in the evening if we wanted a better chance at actually seeing the beavers. So we left to go to Jasper, and this is probably the only rainy day we had on our entire trip, which actually held out pretty good. We wanted to do some souvenir shopping, so we walked around town, went through a few different shops, and of course, we seen a Tim Hortons. We stopped. I was never in one of those, so we stopped there and got a bagel and some coffee. And shortly after that, we left town, and nearby there were several lakes that we visited. The first lake we stopped at was Pyramid Lake, and we ate lunch in the van while it was still raining, and then soon after it stopped. And then we went to Lake Annette and hiked around that lake. It was a nice paved path around the lake, and there we could witness a lot more of the fire damage around that lake. Overall it was a nice day. It stopped raining in the afternoon, and the fall colors were amazing. And after we left there, we seen a little bit of wildlife. There was some elk we seen nearby in the woods, and also a white-tailed buck.
After visiting Jasper and all the lakes, we went to grab something to eat, and we ate at a restaurant called Canadian Stakeout. It was recommended by one of our Airbnb hosts, and it was very good. All of our meals were delicious. Steve and I shared a steak meal and something called poutine. I think I'm saying that correctly. It's fries with gravy and cheese. It's a Canadian thing, and it was very good. After we ate, we went back to the Beaver Boardwalk, and we were really hoping to be able to see some beavers this time. And we did. We saw 3 of them. One was an older beaver and 2 were younger. So it was so much fun to watch them swimming around and eating their wood sticks and playing in the water.
This would be the following morning where we checked out of our Airbnb in Hinton, and our destination today will be the town of Golden. But to get there, we traveled on the Icefields Parkway again. So our first stop for the day was Athabasca Falls. After the falls, we continued on the Icefields Parkway, and along the way, we spotted a nice bull elk. From there, we continued on to Athabasca Glacier and made a stop there. We chose to walk in as far as we could go. We didn't quite make it to the glacier. There was a pond at the very bottom, and we weren't able to find a way to go around it, so we turned around there. It was very cold and windy, so we decided to turn around there. On the way out, you could see signs showing different years and where the glacier was on those particular years. It's pretty interesting. Back on the road again, and as you can see, the colors were absolutely spectacular there along the Icefields Parkway. Our final stop for the day was Misteo. I think that's how it's pronounced. Misteo Canyon. This is probably our favorite waterfalls of them all so far.